Oh, hi everyone, it's Susie Crew again from Esoteric Trading Solutions. I hope you're all well and I hope you're living life according to what you want to do. Life's precious and it's really short. So be empathetic to everyone and be empathetic to yourself. Just like to go through the moves overnight. Really interesting again. We did see some pretty large moves, and as we said yesterday, we thought that Bitcoin was probably going to, get to 10,400. Well, it looks like it's pretty close there already. It's around 10,300. So, according to this, 10,292 or something. So it does look very good. Again, there's no reason to sell this, but I do think it's getting to the really seriously overbought stage. I pretty much got 10,400 in the sand at the moment. So if you look at the histograms, they're starting to come down, slightly moving down. I really think 10,400 is probably where I'd be targeting for me to just take some of my Bitcoin off the table, so to speak, and go to US dollar or to my own domestic currency, being Aussie. I just think it's gone up so much, particularly in the last month. It's just had a huge move. So for me, for my trading, for my investment portfolio, I'm probably looking to take a little bit off the table, around 10,400. That's me. It looks fabulous, but I just feel it's getting really, gosh, look at the daily. The daily looks like it's going to go to 11,000. Wow, yeah, if you're long Bitcoin, you just stay long, I guess. That's sort of the way it is. But for me, it's just getting really, well, I mean, how far does it go? I mean, maybe it just keeps going, I wonder. But the market can't keep going up and up and up, surely. I am starting to think about taking a little bit off the table, not shorting it, of course, but just taking off some of my Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Litecoin. Again, I do like Litecoin. Been listed on some of the Korean exchanges, and it is the silver of Bitcoin. Does transactions quicker, 2.5 minutes compared to Bitcoin of 10 or longer. So just have a look at the 4 hourly on Litecoin. Litecoin looks like it can probably manage to get to 101, something like that on this. According to this, technicals look very good, very bullish, still telling me to stay long. Let's check out the daily. So I'd still be long Litecoin at this stage. Yesterday we said, it had a resistance level of 93.50, but it still looks very good to me. So pretty much it looks like it's going to 100. So I would definitely stay long Litecoin at this stage for my trading. Up to you guys what you want to trade and how you trade, but this is pretty much how I trade. Ethereum, just going to the 4 hourly. Ethereum, it has got a buy on the SARB just here, but I'm not that happy with Ethereum. I had a resistance at 487, and it sort of can't get there, and I'm not really that happy with being long Ethereum. I'd rather be short Ethereum. If it breaks 463 on the way down, then it could go down lower. It's having trouble breaking 487.13 on the way up on the resistance side. So I wouldn't be long Ethereum at this stage. The indices are starting to roll over a little bit. Mind you, the parabolic star is still saying to stay long, but I would wait on that. I think if it breaks the support level on the daily of 467, I think that's definitely a sell. For my trading, I would probably sell just a little bit of that actually on the sell side. It's not showing, to me, it's not showing a great pattern. It's really struggling to get through this resistance level of 487, 488, something like that. Let's have a look at ETC. ETC, which is Ethereum Classic, the fork of Ethereum. ETC was looking quite good on the charts yesterday. This is telling me this is a sell. It's a broken support level here of 29.60. It looks like it's starting to move down. The histogram's moving down. The accumulation and moving averages are moving down. And so I would have a sell on this one here, and I would have a stop loss around 29.80, and I think the market, according to TradingView, is 29.50. So the stop loss can be quite tight. So my sell would be around this market now, 29.50 240 or wherever it is, and I'd have a stop loss around that 29.80. That's fairly tight stop loss for a projected move, possibly down to first move down to $28 and maybe even potentially down to $26. So let's look at the daily on that. Yeah, hit a big resistance level here at 31.58, and it looks like it can retrace some of those steps. So certainly, gosh, huge volume on this on the daily. For my money, I would probably have a very small short on that. I'm reluctant to have big shorts this stage because we are still in a bull market and we just have to be fairly careful. So for me, what I mean by a small short, I'd have a quarter of my normal position on pretty much. We spoke about yesterday ZEC, selling ZEC. It did look like it was a sell. And just going back to this, hit a resistance level of 377, 364. Is rolling over. It's flatlining here on the histogram, starting to roll over on the accumulation indices. We've got a red here. We've got a parabolic SAR. If we have a look at the daily on this one, it's still a sell in my mind. Might come down to this support level of 320. So I'd have a small sell on that, and I'd be holding that sell. Let's have a look at Monaro. And yesterday we were very bullish Monaro. We thought, yeah, this thing had more legs in it. So let's check that out. And obviously it did. We had it sort of getting to 195, and that's pretty much where it's got to on the daily by the looks of it. Let's check out the quarterly on that. It has done a lot, Monaro, and looks like a resistance level on this thing would be 200 at this stage. It still looks pretty good, so I'd really want to know how it goes around that 200 level if it gets there. But you know, I think for the moment it has gone a long way from literally 85 right through. It's done a lot of work, so I would be targeting, you know, around 199 for a sell with a stop loss about 205, something like that in small. That would be my trade on Monaro. Yesterday I got slightly short Dash, not in a big position, but a very small one, because I know we're still in a bull market and we just have to be really careful with our positions here. Dash at the moment is, what is it, around 617 according to this. Still got a sell on the quarterly, still coming down slightly but not coming down much. Got negative on this and negative on this. Sell here. So for my money, I'm staying short on Dash. I'd keep staying short. May get down to, you know, this level here, 590, possibly 578. So just in small. I would also move my stop loss down, but I would stay short Dash in small. I wouldn't be selling any more because, again, we are in a bull market. We just have to be careful. If we look at the dailies, the highs we've got lower, which is always a negative sign. Also, the accumulation indices are moving down. They're starting to turn, the histogram starting to turn down, and these are starting to roll a little bit. So I'd be happy to stay short Dash at this stage. Let's have a look at Ripple, one of my favourite cryptocurrencies, as you all know. It's a very slow mover and it's very, very frustrating. So I have this in my investment portfolio. Again, I said Ripple probably, you know, had a fairly, you know, big support, you know, around that 25, 60, new trading range, but trading range is only 2 cents, so you wouldn't even bother trading this. Pretty much you just stay with it with your investment portfolio and don't look at it too much, so I'm not going to spend too much time on Ripple. What else we got? EOS. Again, we said with EOS it had to break 303, 302 to be bullish. For me to take on another long, and you know, I was pretty close to selling this thing, and yep, what did it do? It couldn't break that 302, pretty much where we were talking about, and it couldn't hold support, so that's telling me that's a sell. If we have a look at, not only do we have the parabolic SAR as a sell here, we've got the red price action, we've got all the indicators from the Ichimoku starting to move down negative. The histogram is starting to move down negative, and we always like this pattern here as it goes down. The moving average and the accumulation indexes have gone red, so I would be a seller on that right here, right now. 274, I'd be selling this with a stop loss at 290, fairly tight. You know, for a move down potentially to 229, that would be my trade on this thing. Fairly tight stop loss. Sometimes you don't need a wide stop loss because you basically, if it starts breaking up to this level here, which was support yesterday, which we now call the new resistance, if it broke up above that, it's going to go on with it. But if it doesn't, it probably is going to go lower. So I would be selling this right here, according to this, at 274 with a stop loss around 286. So it's pretty tight. Stop loss basically 274 against 286 is 14 cents for a projected move down to, say, 240. So, your risk-reward ratio is about, say, 3 to 1 or 2.5. So say you've got 274 down to 240, it's about 30 cents. 30 cents on a stop loss of 12. So you're basically looking at what, about 2.5 reward for one risk. And I like that sort of trade where I get, at least two reward for one risk. So that would be my trade on that. I'd be looking to sell that pretty much. Okay, let's have a look at SAN. If you remember yesterday, SAN was showing a negative. I sell. Oops. And yeah, we've basically it's told us that. So again, we've got the parabolic SAR sell, price actions negative. Things are starting to move down from the Ichimoku, which are longer term moving averages. Negative here, negative here. This is definitely telling me to sell it. Projected price 103. 103. So if I sold this thing here, where is it? 117 for a projected price of 103. My stop loss could be fairly tight at 122. 122. Sell at 117 down to around the figure 100, 103, something like that. So I'd probably pick up, if I'm right on this, I'd pick up 17 cents at least with a fairly tight stop loss of 6 cents. So basically looking at nearly 2.5, 3 to 1 on that. So I have SAN as a sell. And again, the highs are actually lower, quite negative. Highs are lower, and we have red, big support here, but it's done a lot of work, and I think it's going to come off a bit. It has done a lot of work, and it went up very quickly. Okay, let's have a look at BCH USD. Yesterday it was in no man's land. We couldn't decide. It was flatlining. It was on support. It didn't look great to me at all. Again, we've still got this big sell from the spike of 2,800. Price action looks quite negative on this. Red. This is on the daily. Everything's rolling, flatlining, negative. Let's check out the quarterly. I do take my trades mainly off the quarterly. And again, this is telling me to sell. So I would be looking to sell this just here at 14.51. My stop loss on this one will probably be a bit wider because it is quite volatile, this one. I'd have a smaller trading position, but a wider stop loss on this because this contract is very volatile. We've seen it in the past with the Koreans buying it. So for trading this contract, have a small position and a wider stop loss because it is really volatile. Now this could get down to 13.08, but a break of 13.8 would be quite bearish, and it would, pretty quickly, I think, come down to around, 11.85, something like that. So for me, I'll have a small position on that, maybe a very small position, not even a quarter, but less than that for my normal trading size. Say if I normally trade, 10 lots, a quarter, I do say 2 or 3. And for this one, I might do 1 or 2. So again, and I'd have a wider stop loss. So sell here at 14.72. Stop loss at just above that resistance level, 15.58 for a wider move down. Yeah, I don't like that much at all actually. So I'd be on a sell on that. Okay, what else we got here? Neo. I remember yesterday the graph didn't look that great to me. I was negative on Neo yesterday. And I did have a small sell last night. Again, Neo's broken support on the 4-hourly, broken support at 38.28. There is support around this with the Ichimoku, the cloud, but again, it's flatlining here. It's gone negative here. Not much volume. We've got the parabolic SAR, so potentially Neo looks like it get down to 33 to me. I do have a small short on Neo. Let's go back to the daily on this thing. Oops. Check out the daily on this. Yeah, definitely negative. Okay, so it looks like it can get down to about 36. Yeah, I'm still short now, so I'm happy to stay there. Let's check out ETP. Let's move this along. I always take too long on these DVDs. ETP still looks good on the daily. Check out the 4 hourly. Not sure about this one. I think I'd stay out on this one. I don't really have a strong view on that one. EDO USD at the moment. EDO, we were looking at this to break 280. Obviously it didn't. Gosh, it's been a fair move overnight. So back on support here at 221. Got the sell on this, sell. So I might see if we get a bounce out of this, but I'd probably be looking to sell this somewhere. Yeah, if it breaks support, you might see it down at $2 or maybe even $1.81, something like that. Yeah, it doesn't look very good. Gosh, hit this support quite a few, this resistance level quite a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least. 239. So my level on this, where I was going to sell this, everything's quite negative, I think. I'd be looking to see, if I was going to sell here at 226, I would have pretty much a stop loss around 245, something like that, for a bigger move down. Potentially maybe even $1.92, maybe $1.70, something like that. Okay, RRT, USD. Let's move this along, and I think that's pretty much it. Gosh, that's coming down as well. I think we had a sell on that yesterday as well, which we did. Okay, quarterly on this looks quite negative. Got to hold support here at 26,601. Again, everything's moving down, negative. Got the sell, definitely. That looks quite negative to me. I'd be looking to sell that. I know on Bitfinex you can't sell this contract, which is really annoying. On margin you can't do it anyway, but that looks quite negative. It was very overextended. Oh yes, I forgot about IOTA. Let's quickly go back to IOTA. I think that had a pretty good run last night, so very quickly on that. Sorry for the length of this video. My God, that's gone up to, wow, that's gone up with massive volume, and it's now at 151. Again, something, it did look like a buy yesterday at $1.30, and wow, it's pushed up even more overnight. So new support is 148, and potentially could get to about 159. I did look up some research to see if anything had come out by IOTA, but I couldn't find anything on this one. So it looks very, very extended. Let's just check the daily. The daily looks pretty good. No reason not to stay long on this. 165 potentially on the daily, and the quarterly support 147. So if I was going to buy this, I'd be buying it here at, what is it, 151 or 152, and I'd have a stop loss around 147 for a potential move to 165. Thank you guys. Sorry for the length of this. I hope you get something out of this and enjoy your day. Thank you.